Hello, there are a number of lectures in ISLM model, and there are lectures on ISLM model and regarding different concepts of ISLM model. And you can find all these lectures in the description box. And today, I am going to introduce the sensitivity of money demand to rate of interest and LM curve. Okay, it is important because the shape of the LM curve depends on the sensitivity of the money demand and how it matters. And how it matters you can find in this lecture. Okay, so now this is the diagrammatic representation or graphical presentation of the sensitivity of money demand to rate of interest and the LM curve. As you know, the LM curve is nothing but the locus of all this combination of real interest rate and real output and the interest rate, which make the money market in equilibrium. And ICE curve is nothing but the locus of all those combinations of real output and interest rate that makes the goods market in equilibrium. So look here, along the vertical axis, we measure the interest rate, and along the horizontal axis, we measure the real output. Okay. Now, this is the initial point. This is the initial ICE curve. This is the initial ICE curve, ICE0. And if the demand for money should be more responsive or sensitive to the rate of interest, understand, it is different from the sensitivity of investment to the rate of interest. Okay, you can find this point from my previous lecture on the sensitivity of investment to the rate of interest and ICE curve. So here, if the demand for money should be more responsive, demand for money is more responsive to the rate of interest, the fiscal policy will be more effective. Fiscal policy will be more effective. How? If money demand is interest inelastic, okay, then LM curve, the shape of the LM curve is like this. It is parallel to the near about parallel to the vertical axis. Okay, if it is perfectly inelastic, that is the parallel to the vertical line, it is less inelastic, then it is this type of line is here. Okay, this LM curve, this upward rising curve is the LM curve is inelastic. Okay, now this is the initial equilibrium point. Look at this. This is the initial equilibrium point where we get the equilibrium in goods market as well as the money market, and real output is Y0 and real and interest rate is I0. Okay, interest is I0. This is the point. Now, if the investment increases, then the ICE curve will shift up. Okay, naturally it shift up. Then we get this point, we get this point. Here, the new real output is this, and new interest rate is this. Okay, I1. So what? Here is the difference. This is the difference. Okay, difference is Y1 minus Y0. Okay, when LM curve is inelastic and there is a shifting of ice curve towards upward, then the this much amount of real output is there. Okay. Now, if LM curve is elastic, elastic means if it is perfectly elastic, then it is a line which is parallel to the horizontal axis. Okay, it's perfectly elastic. But if it is elastic, then the LM curve is this. LM is elastic, then this curve, LM curve is like this. Okay, this is the LM curve when LM is elastic. So when LM curve is elastic and there is an increase in investment, and as a result of this, the IS curve shift from IS0 to IS1 and new equilibrium where the goods market and money market both are in equilibrium. This point, this represents such type of situation. Okay, this situation represents the Y2 real income and I2 interest rate. Now the difference Y2 minus Y2 minus Y0 is the amount of output that we can get by shifting the IS curve from IS0 to IS1 depending on the LM curve, which is elastic, which is where the money demand to interest rate is more sensitive. Is more sensitive. Okay, so here you can find that y1 minus y0 is less than y2 minus y0. So this amount is higher than this amount. So what we can conclude from here? We can conclude from here is that the if LM curve is interest elastic, if the money demand is interest elastic, if the sensitivity of money demand to interest rate is more, then the shifting of IS curve toward up, we get more real output than the LM curve, which is inelastic, where money demand is less sensitive to the rate of interest. Okay, so what we can conclude from here? We can conclude from here the fiscal policy will be more effective. Fiscal policy, it means if there is increase in increased government expenditure, such type of things, that is the fiscal policy. If the fiscal policy will be more effective if demand for money should be more responsive or sensitive to the rate of interest. Okay, this is the fundamental finding from this lecture. So hope you have understood that the sensitivity of money demand to rate of interest and LM curve, how affects the fiscal policy. Whether the fiscal policy will be more effective or not, it depends on the sensitivity of the money demand to rate of interest. Okay, so thank you for enjoying this lecture, and you can find number of lectures on ISLM model in the description box, and from those lectures you can clarify your understanding, and hope you will be enjoying my lectures, and you have enjoyed my lectures. Thank you for enjoying these lectures.